Hello, I'm Lokesh Jha, and this is the part 5 of React. This will be last part of the React. We will be building DevFinder here, a full React app. In the final project, we will be bringing everything what we have learned in React and JavaScript. That knowledge will be implemented in order to check that okay how we have understood that, and also we will have a kind of project that will give you a go through of recap of all the things which you have covered in the older videos. So we will go for the section one as the project plan and architecture. When we listen the word of architecture, if even if you are not aware of the computer science architecture, you know that okay in when we are building any homes or like buildings, we consult to a architecture who defines the outer or inner structures that how it should be. Then the engineer implements that. Similarly, when you are building a project, you need to understand that how what the expectations are and how it should be built in order to have a like easy user experience, and how it will be used and how it will be implemented in the back end, in the front end. All things will be considered. What components we will be using, where it will be used, and why that is good. Even if you go for the architecture, you will have multiple solutions for one problem, but you need to decide that which problem suits your use case, and you will pick that one, and that will be implemented. So diff finder, our project. This finder is has a 4 pages, and the first one is home. This is the first page, and search. So we can keep the search also in the home only. That okay. Let's see. We will see that okay. We will have a home page that will have a search. So this is the first page that we will need. Then a user detail page is needed. Let's suppose you type someone's name here and the user name comes, you click on this. So now user detail page will be there. All the details of that user will be here. So this will consist of GitHub profile plus the stats, that how much his contribution is or her contribution is. Then a repo page. So all the repos of that user that will be shown here, and a default page that is 404, that we have learned that okay, if for a better user experience, if user redirects to any wrong page, then it will see a 404 page, and we will give a button that okay, go to home page. Then it will click. It will when it will be clicked, we will land it to the home page, and we will have the Navbar, which will be consistent to all the pages. And I will write here Navbar, then dark mode, and dark mode applies globally. So this is the kind of wireframe or architecture, you can say, that we'll be building. The real GitHub API is free and need no API key for the basic request. We use 3 endpoints. First thing we will see. So this is free and no API needed. So you need not to go at the GitHub platform and creating any API. Otherwise, if you go to any platform, when you will be building some other product, then that time you would need to see that either the APIs are free or paid. Like if you want to search or have any API calls to Twitter or X, then it will be paid. But if you are like making any call to YouTube or Meta, so it will be unpaid, but it will be rate limited. So we will understand what is rate limited. So in basic words, it is like how many requests, how many API calls you can do per hour or per minute or per day. So that will be rate limited in order to you do not spam the server. And here we have paid, so you are paying money, so you can do that much API call. And yeah, in in both of them, in the paid you need to create a API key. In free also there will be cases that you need a API key, or there will be some settings you need to fetch. So it is basically the public APIs only which are which are free, and no API key. Okay, I hope you got the gist of that. So yeah, the APIs we will be using to call the backend. So let's suppose we have our front end, and this is GitHub. So we will be considering this as our backend. That it is not our backend, but yeah, we will consider right now that okay, we have our backend. I will be calling this GitHub for the data that I need. So I will need get, and here I will put search, then user, then the query. Okay, let me write methods. Okay, now these are the three endpoints: search user, get a single user, so it will give the user details, and get their repos. So these are the three API that we will be calling in our front end. So here we have the params that we have seen, and here we have the like username we will be putting. So these all things we have seen already. And get, you are seeing this in normal words. When we ask the server to give some data and we do not provide any extra data, we just provide a URL and we ask that okay, give me some data. So that is kind of get we are asking for, give me that. So it is get API call. We will go in like in depth for this. Like there is a REST API standard, so we follow get for the getting, and host is there, and patch is there. So you can read about this and you can comment below what you understand, and if you have any doubt then you can comment below. I will be anyhow covering this topic later. Okay, we have now the endpoints. So now this is the picture that we have as the result, that okay, this is the base https://api.github.com. Then this is the search API, this is the single, and this is the user repos. So this is how we will be using. It was kind of example that how you understand this, and this is the one that we will be using, how we have built the other projects where the API was there, and we used to call that. So also, if since the GitHub API is free, so there is a rate limit of 60 requests per hour. So you can make 60 requests per hour, and after an hour you can again restart. And this is for unauthenticated user if you're not logged in, so you can make this this much of project. And when you add access token in your production project, you can make something around 5,000 requests per hour also. So now we are just building this stuff, so this much is enough to make and test it locally. This is the file structure we will be following. We have src, we have context. Here we have theme context, dark mode global state, new context API. Okay, so the context is remembered throughout the project. If you have something in updated, like okay, now it is dark mode, so we will be following that CSS to be rendered in all the components on the pages. So that's why it is in context. Here we have hook, useFetch, which we have already seen. Layout, root layout. Here we will be adding the header and footer as we have seen in the video 4. Components is there, the Navbar, UseCards, RepoCard. These things we have already seen, so we will be updating that. Now, here in the pages, we have home.jsx, user details, user repo, not found. We have just discussed about this. And we have App.jsx, which is the updated routes. We will have all those routes and all. So we are reusing everything here in the components we have from the previous video. So we are reusing useFetch, skeleton card, and root layout not found. So we will be just having a copy paste of that in our this project. So you will have less things to re-understand, like new things to understand, and there will be more repeating things. You can just have okay, how this could be repeating things in new projects also. So that will be a good thing for you. And each thing you have built, you have tested, so that is true. It will be working in other project also. Now let's go to this context API, which is new. So let's go inside that. So as we have the new concept of in this video also, which is context API. And so why this is needed? This was needed for the dark mode, or you can say for the dark mode, light mode, dark mode toggle. We could have done by like having something in local storage, and we have saved that, okay, this is the state we have, and always we fetched and then use that for the CSS. So in CSS we will do, if that is dark mode, then so this, else this. So how this variable will be consistent throughout the project. So we need the dark mode to be available on every page, Navbar, home, user details, user repos. We could pass it as props through every components, but it gets messy and also kind of hard to maintain. Yeah, so now we have a context API with 3 steps shown here, and the first one is create the context. So we will just write constant and theme context equals to create context. So this will create a context in the name of this variable. Then provide it, wrap the app like how we did for the routes. So same way we need to wrap it. So theme context dot provider value dark mode comma toggle dark mode. So here we are wrapping the whole app with this context and consume it wherever it is needed. Like in the each page we need to show the UI, so we will be using constant dark mode, dark toggle dark mode. So this is the dark mode and this is the function to toggle it, and use context theme context. So this way we can just directly use it, and we do not need to have the props dealing and all. So if someone asks you that what is context API, so you can say context here. Context is a way to share data across the component tree without passing props at every level. You can you create a context, wrap your app in its provider with a value, and any descendant component, like whichever component comes under this, can read that value, and using context, that use context hook, it can read that values. Use it for truly global data like theme, language, authenticated, or you are trying to, like, this language could be used if you have a dual thing, like you can present your website in English, Hindi, French, or anything. So you can provide that, and not for regular, like if there is something 1 2 pages will be using that, so we will not using that for context, and not for regular component communication, which should stay as props. Okay, so as we see in the file structure, this we will be creating similarly. You can see which file is for used, like which purpose. Now let's go to create the first theme context in our code. So part 5. Oh, here we will have part 5, and we will just copy this user dashboard, copy and paste it here. Uh, Paste, close this, and we will rename this div finder. Okay, in the package also here you can change div finder. Okay, why we did that? Because we will be using the components already we have, so that's why. So now we need to create the context. So we will be going in src, and we'll have a context named folder. Inside that, one minute, inside that context, ThemeContext.jsx. Here we will be defining the theme. So first, as we add a view of this, we need to create context and use state imported from React. We can also use context. We have imported this. Now the first step, create the context object, and we will do like this. So this is the first step, how we create the context. Now the another step will be how do we build. 1 minute. So let's snooze this. Yeah. Now we have built the provider component. Here we need export function. Also, I will add that the this wraps the app. So yeah, so this wraps the app provider and provides the theme state to all children. This we have theme provider. Here we have dark mode and set dark mode. This is the use state, as we have already knowledge of this, like how we use state. In the toggle, we are just doing previous, not previous. So this, you know that, okay, we are just doing the, like if it is previous is true, then it is false, then true. So this is a flip only. And return theme context provider value inside all children. So everything will go inside this. This whole project is wrapped through this theme provider. Whenever inside any page, you will click and change the dark to light mode, it will change to all the pages. Okay, now we have step 3, custom hook to consume the context cleanly. So we are exporting this use theme and return use context, and here we are returning the theme context. So this is a more clear way to consume this. So we have just created this file in the theme context. So this custom hook use theme, what we have created right now, is a small but important pattern. Instead of every component importing both context and theme context, they just import the use theme and open in the one import, cleaner code and easier to refactor easily. And whenever you need to do any changes in the theme, so you just need to come here and you can just do the changes. Other places, just we will be using this export function. Now let's go to the main.jsx. Here we have already the browser route. So we will be adding the theme provider and pick from here to here. So this is how we have imported also. Let's put it there. Yeah, now it looks good. If you want, we can refactor, and this is ready. Now it wraps the whole app. And yes, the order matters. Uh, Here, the browser router provides routing context. Theme provider provides theme context. But like you see that both are wrapping the app. So all component inside use the both. Think it's like a layer. Each layer adds a capability to the everything inside it. So it's kind of layers provided. Okay, now we will go to the layouts, as we need to link uh, the dark mode to this layout. So we are here in the layout. So as we have created this custom use theme, so we will be just importing this line and we can use this. So here we can do dark mode and use theme. So it will give me the dark mode. Okay, I have just updated the styling. Here we have given the style and put the check that okay, if it is dark, then just show this color, else the white one. And here color for the dark mode, the text will be white and the background will be black. And for the main section, I will just add some CSS. So now our layout is kind of ready. And this, with the ternary operator, we have configured this. So now let's go for the Navbar. So here we need to have the same thing. So let's import useTheme, and we have the context here. Toggle dark mode equals useTheme. I've imported the toggle dark mode because in the navbar we will have uh, that changing toggle. So now I've added this link which we have. Okay, we can update the other one. Okay, so now we have bg, which is if that is dark mode then this, otherwise this. So we will be now changing this navbar. So we have a little bit of change here. We have added a span. Here we have two nav links, search and users. One button is added with some styling, and the dark mode is added. Here we will have the toggle that if dark mode is there, then if dark mode is true, then we will show light, not, then we will show the dark. So this toggle is there. And if we now we'll go for the pages, home pages. So here we need to show the search bar, and all the users will be, like the GitHub users will be listed here. So let's clear everything. We will have the dark mode from use theme. Then we have constant search params, set params equals use search params, and this here you can import it. Now we have input, where we will be asking for the user's name as input field. Set input equals useState. It will be empty string. Then we can have that also search params dot get. Here we will have q, the that we have seen in the GitHub URL. If not, then just empty string. Now we have constant query equals search params dot get q push mark empty. So this search params is when we are making a call to GitHub. So we have seen that there will be a param here as q equals locase. So the value after q will be taken here when we will be searching for the params. So this hits the URL in the browser, which looks into the URL in the browser. Now we will have data loading and error equals useFetch, which is our custom custom hook. Now we will have the API, which is query, and if the query is not there, means if it is empty, then we will put this, otherwise this will be null. So if we have query, then this URL will be there, otherwise null. means we don't want that to make a API call as we do not have anything. So now we close this and we want users equals, so users will be coming from the data. So if we do data dot, if we have data, then this question mark dot. Okay, I've recorded the further videos, but there was some issue in the video, so I will be going from here again. So we have taken the constant users equals data. Then again, you have here check the, okay, if data is null, then do not break anything. If it is not present, like data is null or something, we will be not trying to access the items. We will fall back to empty array. So no user is there. But it says that, okay, if data is there, then we will look for items and it will be assigned to users. So this is the kind of fallback that we use. Now here we have functions handling. We are handling the search. If someone search, then we will. Okay, I will explain with the example. Here we. What? Yeah. So let's take an example that you have your input field here for the search, like how we see in Flipkart, Amazon, and all those. So here you input someone's name that, okay, I want to search for Ravi, and you click on this search button. Then this needs to show all the GitHub users which are named like Ravi or similar. So this is currently happening like, okay, we will take input for the use state, and use state gives the set input function, which function is used to update this value. So the value inside this input will be kept inside this input and will be updated through this function. As we see here, we have input, set input. So similarly, this value will be updated like that only, and we will be seeing the search result. Currently, this search button will be operated like a button, but what happens, like the value is already there. On the submit, you need not to update the current value to the input. On submit, the form will know that it needs to call a function, which function is responsible to make a update in set search params. It will update this value set search, and the query will have this value, and this query will make the API call, and it will get the data. If the data is there, then user is populated. If user is populated, then this data will be updated. Means the below what we are having here users. So let's understand this in code. So here is the search GitHub user by name. The top says DevFinder. Here we have form which says input, and input will have normal input field and a button. On button, this is a type submit. So it, when this button will be clicked, this will know that, okay, I need to submit. So handle search will be called. Handle search will be called. So this will be updated, and you know the meaning of this e.prevent default that we write just to not erase everything from the input field. And here we have the condition that if loading is not there, if query is also there, and user.length is still 0, then we will show no users found. And in this div, everything goes well. We have the users, then we will restore the users with the link we have used as the user card to show. As when we click on that card, we will redirect to the user details. We are thinking like that. Now we are going to user cards, how this is defined. So it is normal, like we will getting user details for showing the user. We will be using user.avatar URL, user.login as the username. If that broke, the image is broken, then we will alt is used to show the text in the scenario where the image is broken. Now the user login will be shown, that is the username of the user, and we have some styling based on the dark mode. So this is simple, and you see that, okay, we are not using user.image, or here we are not using user.name. So you need to be familiar that when backend changes, the kind of response we are getting from backend, that needs to be updated. So it's not like every backend will give the same response. If you are switching from one front-end project to another front-end project, things will change. Not the syntax, not the way you work. These variables will change. So that's why the knowledge of syntax will be staying there. Now, since these users data is there, and when it will be clicked, so you will be going to that user details to this. So we will be going for user details. Here we have 1 minute. But if you want to put this, and this, yeah. So in the user details, we need username, we need dark mode. Dark mode is coming from the use theme. We have created the context of this. We have useParams, which is coming from a username, and the data we are getting by using useFetch, which is the custom hook we have created already. So here we will put the username that we get, and it will be working like that. Now here in the loading, we will show this is loading. In the error, we will show we have error. In the user not found, then we will return null. And now we have some card stylings. So this is kind of how the dark mode is used in order to show that. And this link is the back button, back to search. And here we have the details of the users. So this you see user.name user.login. In case the response we got, the name is not there. If it is null, then we will fall back to user.login. So this is used for that. Okay. We have seen this image earlier also, and we have stats row. If we are getting like user.public repos, we will get repos. Followers we have, followings we have. So we will show that way. And here we have some info fields like user.company, user.blog, Twitter, username, if that is there. And you can have the link here to view the public repos of that. In order to see the code, you can easily see that on GitHub. You will find the URL to the GitHub repo in the comments, sorry, in the description. Now let's go to the where we will be showing the user repos. So here we have, let's rename this users repo. Yeah, because inside also we are using users repo, that's why. So users repo we have now, we are seeing that, okay, we have done the same thing. We have username and dark mode because this username will be put here and the repos will be put here in order to get the all repos. And here we have kind of similar phenomena happening here in the, as the previous one. Then we will have the back button. Then we have RepoCard just to show the repos. That's simple. Okay, if we do not have anything, then we will show that, okay, we didn't have to show any public repository and all. Now for that, we will look for RepoCard. So RepoCard is kind of how the UserCard was. Just the repo description and name we have used, and some how many stars are there, fork are there. So those things are there. And then we went to App.jsx. We cleaned this routes, updated the imports. It needs to be done. And we have started the npm run dev using here in the DevFinder. So if you go here, we are having a white page. Okay, so we need to look what is the issue here. So we have console and network, which are more important to look. Here we have refreshed. We do not see anything in network, so there is no issue there. However, it should be user repos. So it is looking somewhere for, we just renamed it. So it must be looking somewhere for user repo, which we need to update. Here it would be users repo. Now if I come and we have some other error, cannot restructure property dark mode of use theme as it is undefined. Yeah, we need to fix this one. Okay, now we have this. So we've like I forgot to provide the theme provider here. Now it is there, and in App.jsx, so everything is working. Now let's refresh this. We have some error again in the navbar. Here link has the issue. So line number 42 in navbar. Nav link, do we have imported? Yes. Link, do we have? No, we do not have this styling for the link. So let's define the, oh, this is, okay. I think we forgot to spell it correct. Skeleton card is not defined in home. There are these kind of imports issue. You will see, just need to import it well. Now there is another thing, skeleton card is at wrong place. It will be in the, since 2 dot will be used for components, then skeleton card, I hope this is correct. Yeah, okay. We have error unexpected token. This invalid JSON. Let's see where. Unexpected token only. So let's build this npm run build. It might give us the address to that errors, but it built correctly. Okay, I know this. So here we are having error. So it means, okay, now it is fixed. It was kind of import issues. So now let's search. Okay, I will show you the API calls also how this is done. So here we have clicked fetch /xcr. So we will be showing the all the API calls that we want to have here. Now we will click search. So here this is the header. How, like, whenever you will be working in a real project, so you need to have access, like experience how to use these dev tools. This is dev tools. So here we have network, here we have console, these are elements. So this is the source of where this code is coming. If you go for network, so with the here you will see all the logs to that API that we are making. In the application, you will have access to IndexedDB or external storage, session storage, and local storage. So this is used for storing anything in the browser. And when you are saving any access token or some key things which are not to be exposed, so those are stored in cookie. Now let's go to the network tab. Here you see header is there. In header we have HTTP, and here users question mark q equals to locase and per page 12. So this is the limit how much we want in the per page, and this is the query term that we have given. Even if you click here and if you press enter, so again it is coming here. Okay, so because this search term is getting from this here, if you make a search here, change only locase 1, then you click, so this will be updated. So it updates through the URL. Now if you click on any of the, like, okay, you click here and this name is white, so you can fix this by going in user card details. This is the details ones here. So user details where the name is coming. Okay. Label detail up. If you see here, we have this. So if you put colors as, oh, that is nice, that black and white. Okay. Now if you see, if this is dark mode, then it will be black. If we click on light mode, then it becomes white. So on, yeah, our dark mode is working. If I click light, like dark, currently it is in this page. If I come here, again it is, if it is switched to dark mode, then we can back to the light mode. That's why it's showing click on light. Then currently see this is here, and if I go to other pages also, it will be like that only. Now let's go back to the search. Here we have this, here we have the details of that user, and I want to search for repositories. So you have seen how the response is coming, how we were doing that. Okay, user dot login we want to do, because the this path, like this value will come due to user dot login, not user dot name. That's why. So you need to look in this response that what API response is giving, so that we can utilize that way only. Here the avatar URL is there, so that's why we have used that. So I saw this earlier, so that's why I knew you need to check the responses from the postman. And yeah, if we go for the repository, loading repository, we have all the repository of this user. If I click here, then this particular repository will get opened. Okay. Now we have kind of built this DevFinder. Now what you can do next, you can add some extra parts like pagination. You can do, currently we have limit of 12, only fetching the 12 users. So you will see in headers we have this 12. So you can add the in the search, you can add how we do pagination and all, so that we can have some next button here and it will render the other 12 here. Then you have other information to be show, or you can mark a favorite to some person that okay, I want to mark it favorite. Then you want to have some kind of request that okay, send a request for kind of uh, you can, yeah, like having better skeletons and sorting, filtering on the stars, on the how many public repos he have. You can apply those filters here. So this will be kind of how you interact with these things, or those interaction will be through the query. And yeah, you can test it. It's kind of a good project. So in this video, we have built DevFinder, a full React application using a real GitHub API. So this is coming from GitHub API, and we covered the context API for the global dark mode and combined every platform like patterns from the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 to this part 5 in order to understand the React very well. And there is more things still left. You will learn like debouncing and those things. So you need to practice and make real projects, then you will know that okay, what things are like. You will come across many things, but yeah, you need to know the basics in order to understand those very smoothly. And this is the complete React series. You know about the props, components, and events, use effect, how to fetch external API, custom hooks, React router, context API. These are the fundamentals every React developer uses in daily production. So this is already always used. So now we have covered the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. Now we'll be going for Node.js in order to build the backend. Now we were using the already built GitHub's API. Now we will be building the backend of that, and in order to have a full stack of knowledge. So yeah, the next is we will be like in the next video we'll meet again. Till that, practice and subscribe the video, means subscribe the channel. Okay, bye.